Do you realize how much of a superpower you have with improv? Because I've gone to so many of your shows lately at UCB. You guys do the first Friday, 7th Friday of the month or whatever.
Yeah, it's always changing.
But I've gone to at least 4 in the last year, and you guys are so, probably more than that. You are just so fun. You just bring so much joy.
That's very nice of you to say. I'm aware of it. Only I'm aware of that's where I feel the most comfortable. Like if anybody were to ever be like, what's the best version of yourself as a performer or something, I'd say come see Cook County Social Club, because like you said, I kind of don't know what it is, but I'm so comfortable on stage with those guys in front of an audience versus, come into this like weird commercial audition. I don't feel like if we were like grading on 100% or not, it's like I'm definitely not 100% walking into like a Quiznos commercial. But
Quiznos is going to come calling now.
Yeah, oh yeah, please, God, I love a Quizno. But it is I love a Quizno. But it's that weird thing of like I wish I could make whatever I was doing on stage translate to what those like weird rooms, because especially like, I don't know, commercial audition, they make you improvise so much. It's not real improv though. I don't know. But yeah, that's very nice of you to say. I do feel amazingly comfortable up there. It's still my favorite thing to do, even though as 10 years has gone on, it's harder to get up and go do. And I'm always like, what am I doing? And then you get out there and it's a blast. So it's like, yeah, I still really love it.
Well, I try to take new people to your guys' shows because honestly, I hate to say this, but I think you guys are so slept on, which breaks my heart. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't sell out that show every month.
Well, it's great that you're there, and there's like this.
It is
kind
great
of like
there.
well, it is like we saw each other one of the ones when we first came back. And we're on whatever like 20th Sunday was. It was like so good to see. First off, you show up and you're like, God, I hope an audience is there, because that's the thing. It's like, who the fuck remembers you? The other thing is we're like the old men of improv now. We're not those young bucks we were 10 years ago. So you do get like nervous, like, will anybody be there? Will it fucking matter? And then like we see all these people who used to come to the show all the time. And I don't know, it's like a boon to the spirit. What you need out here.
Yeah, I had that happen recently. I went and saw Heyday randomly in the Valley with our friend Jen Gardner.
Yeah.
Who's blowing up now, by the way. But and there was a bunch of old IO people there. Craig Kakowski, who I talked to, who's going to come do the podcast in a week because of that. But like, it was a small theater in the Valley, and it was packed because it was small. But it felt like it wouldn't have been UCB packed, but it was packed for this thing, and it was perfect because the energy was just. And it felt like just like a really cool experience. And the show was really, even the openers were really good. And it was just like, that's hard to come by, it feels like these days.
Yeah. And it's a nice reminder to me of why I love like performing. Cause you forget that when you like sit in your house for like 2 years or a fucking strike happens and you're not working for so long. It dulls whatever that flame is. And then to go back out and like, we're not selling out UCB, but that space is so great. But like, and it's full enough that it like you feel connected to the audience.
Yeah.
And I love it. I don't know. It still really makes me happy to do.
Yeah. Well, but, let me ask you, because when I try to take, like I said, more people there that I haven't seen you, and everybody always comments on how ridiculous you are. How do you think and I don't want to go to like improv theory or anything, but like, how do you get away with, and I mean this in the nicest way, how do you get away with being so wacky? Like, you are just so playful and ridiculous at times, and you'll just start doing a random bullshit character, but it's like the funniest thing anyone's ever seen. And then Greg and Mark are so good at, making it work, but you just go out way out there, they bring it in, but I don't know where does that come from that you just feel like, we'll figure this out and I can go way out there? Because that's what you do, and that's what makes it so fun.
Well, with the cook guy, well, I kind of do it with everything. It is just, I commit 100% to it.
Yeah. Well, not 89%.
As much as I can. And I love doing it, and I kind of don't give a crap if the audience likes it, if I do it or not. And then there's something about this, now we've talked about my voice, let's talk about my face. I kind of get away with more shit because I got this fucking goof ass face. I've had people like say like, you know, I can say some pretty filthy things, and people be like, I could never say that, and you can, and it's just like, I think it's like the wonky eye, the witch voice, and the goofy potato face.
I love that we just figured out how you feel about yourself, which is totally not how anyone else feels about you.
Yeah, but I don't. When you like get forced to self-reflect on things like this, I guess it comes back to that. And then yeah, as for that, it's just like getting away with like big goofy stuff. It's what makes me laugh. It's I maybe do that too much on Cook County. Like I think we've hit a point where Cook County, like we've been cruising for so long. All our shows, even our bad shows, are pretty good. Not to blow us, but we've been doing it for a long time. So, but there's also a thing of now we're starting to do it a lot more for ourselves, which it'd be nice to, if we started doing shows more regularly, to really focus on trying to conquer improv again and do something new would be fun. But there is an element of like, I get to see Greg once a month doing this show. I'm going to try to make myself and him laugh as much as possible. So
Yeah.
I think I really do push myself out there for that. And then it's just like, as soon as the audience gives it to me, Papa Bear's like, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I can empathize with that because like for this podcast, like I gave up this being a top 100 iTunes podcast a long time ago. Is it still iTunes, Apple Podcasts or whatever? But like now I do it for myself and I get way more joy out of that. Like I want to talk to you about what is interesting to me, not what like the masses want. So there's something to that. I think that frees you up. But I think what you said that is really important is you said, I don't care. I think you said, I don't care. That's, it's honestly kind of, you were talking, I was like, it's kind of Andy Kaufman-esque. Like Andy Kaufman used to want a bomb, right?
Right.
And it seems like you are just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And
it makes me happy.
And you don't care. And then you will double down. Like you just confidently double down on this stupid thing you're doing. And it just makes, it's very Andy Kaufman-esque as we talk about.
Well, I feel so much better about myself. Thank you.
Well, you still have a potato head.
Oh, now in a witch's voice.
But anyways, I just love you guys so much. And to that point, like you mentioned, like you when you go to do an improv show, you're like, oh no, I gotta go do this. I was gonna ask you, what is your relationship with improv now? Like, and you kind of, it seems like answered that with the idea that you want to do it for you now, almost.
Yeah, it's tying it into like the Hollywood thing too. It like got me out here because when I was in Chicago, I was doing it basically every night of the week. I worked at Second City, get a manager and all that stuff. You come out here, and in the early hot days of being out in Hollywood, it's like use it as a tool to have people come see you. So there's a little more pressure on the shows. It's like casting directors showing up because your manager set it up or whatever. And so it's now hit this point where I've been here over 10 years apparently, and it's like it's coming back around again to I'm going out to do the show for myself, which is kind of, it's like gone back to when I was in my 20s, like first starting out. And it was just like, I'm going to get up there and have as much fun as possible. I want to start playing with the people I have the most fun with. I'm going to start groups of people I love the most. And it's like kind of coming back to that, where the part about getting out is hard is because it's like, I don't drive, so it takes me a long time to get anywhere. I got kids, so it's like, I got to make dinner and I have to get on a train. So like you start thinking about all that stuff. And then in your brain, you say like, for a stupid improv show. And it always starts that way. And then I get there, I do the show, and I feel 20 again, have a blast. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it again next time. And then like a month goes by, and I'm like, stupid improv show. So it is that the fact that every time it ends, I still love it means I'm going to go back again. And, if I have one that bombs, I may never come back, bro.
Yeah. Have you ever, what's the book, The Art of War, or The War of Art? The War of Art?
The War of Art? Which one? By
not the massive book. There's the Art of War is the massive one. The War of Art just talks about how like you just got to go do stuff. Everything is, it's sort of religious in the sense that he phrases the devil as resistance, and you're resistant to do things. And I find when there's resistance like that, I don't want to do that. You got to go into that. What I think of is I was a mascot in college, and the worst part about being a mascot was putting on the goddamn outfit. But once you're in, you're just like, oh. Same with, I just got back from Vail a couple weeks ago, everybody hates putting on ski boots. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
oh God, I got to put it. And then once they're on, you're like, I'm free. And you're flying down the mountain. But that sort of resistance that like is telling you don't do it
Right.
is almost like reassuring in a way that, oh, I got to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's built that way, but
It is good to remember as I get older too. It's just like if you stop doing things, eventually you're just gonna like be in your house all the time, not doing anything. And it's like, so yeah, I'm glad I crushed that urge to just sit on the couch every time, and I go do these shows because it's a blast every time I do it. I still love it.
yeah. And that reads,